by the water.
Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Look here. Now, like I was telling y'all, folks got caught with the phone, right? And then he don't want to take the charge. The folks that own the phone looking at him like, you know that you're supposed to take the charge. This is what gangsters do. Whoever get caught with the phone is the one that got to take the charge. That's just how it work in the penitentiary now. But a lot of people in the penitentiary ain't real, they ain't solid, and that's just how they get down. You feel what I'm saying? Now here, look, check this out. Now, folks in them, they can handle this between themselves, amongst themselves, right? They don't have to take this to the family. This is a personal issue. You feel what I'm saying? But folks that own the phone, he finna get grimy. He's sick of folks playing with him. He's sick of it. Because he finna get ready to go to the D-board. Now, I understand the folks that didn't own the phone, that got caught with the phone, is getting ready to go for parole, but he knew the risk when he was taking time to use that phone. If you get caught with it, you gotta wear it. That's the business, right? So folks that own the phone, he bring it to the fam, right? And once he put the fam in it, the family is saying, okay, look, first of all, this is a personal issue. But if you want to bring it to the fam, right? You understand what I'm saying? What's going to be the charge? What's going to be the charge? Folks lying? Folks got your phone caught? Folks ain't keeping it 100? But no, this is what happened. Let me tell you something. See, folks had been doing his homework. And one of them other three guys, you remember when I told you about when they got caught in the shower, when he was in the shower and one of the other guys heard the phone and said, somebody in the shower got a cell phone. That dude had bumped down on folks that owned the phone and told him, he said, man, dude, your brother was in the shower the other day on the phone. So folks look at him and said, like, wait a minute, what you mean he was in the shower? He said, yeah, man, I was in the shower, man. I heard the phone go, brrr, brrr. And I just said out loud, trying to get my bid in, man. Somebody got a phone. I'm trying to get my bid in, man. I'm trying to see if somebody let me use the phone so I can call my dad. If he gonna be in the shower trying to use the phone, I figure, hey, let me see if he'll let me use the phone. He didn't bite, but still, I believe that's when the police heard it. So folks look at me, he said, you think the police heard it then? He said, when was this? And he told them how long ago it was. And he got to thinking, he said, wait a minute. He said, that's when they start walking around a whole lot. He like, yeah, they shook us down. They shook us down. He said, man, they shook us down too. He said, yeah, they were looking for that phone. They knew what phone was in here, man. He said, because your brother was being careless and reckless and had that phone in the shower. See, now the peon, he throwing dirt on it. You know what I'm saying? He throwing dirt on top of it. He throwing that gasoline on it. He trying to get something to go on. He want to see somebody get beat up. See, that's how it is in the penitentiary. Because see, now he taking it personal, that when he bumped down on folks and he said something to folks about the phone, folks told him, try to throw him out, which that's what folks supposed to do. He taking it personal. He said, man, that man could let me use the phone. So, okay, now it's his turn. Now he finna make sure that folks get his brain knocked out, because he know how this go too. He know how this go. You ain't got to be a gangster to know what gangsters gonna do. Because when gangsters do something, they send messages, man. They want everybody to see the pumpkin head when the pumpkin head get delivered. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So when he tell folks this, now folks, okay. Now folks gonna tell, he gonna go to the folks, he gonna tell, man, folks been lying to me, man. Folks been lying to me, you know what I'm saying? And making it seem like he was keeping it 100. He said, man, I wanna write him up for lying, bro. And then they broke it down and all this and that and everything, and it's like, oh, okay. And now they hit him up for disrupting organizational unity. Wait a minute. Hold up. You say he lying and he disrupting the organizational unity. So the COS said, man, explain that to me. Make your case how he disrupted organizational unity. He said, folks, if he'd have kept it 100 with me, we would have been prepared and I could have put the phone somewhere else. You feel what I'm saying? And we would have been ready for that. But by him not trusting me, by being my brother not trusting me, it ain't no unity no more. Now the COS know he's stretching it, but he feeling it. He feeling it. So the COS make a decision, just try to, you know what I'm saying, so this don't turn into something where somebody get really hurt. He said, okay, we'll take it up, man. We'll take it up. He said, write it up and bring it to me. So folks that owned the phone wrote it up and brought it to him. So he presented it to the 9 and the number 2. You understand what I'm saying? He presented it to them and they looking at it. And they telling, bro, this is a stretch, right? How come they won't handle this between themselves? So the COS folks tell me, he said, look, man, we just need to take care of this, right? Because we don't want this to blow up into something else. We don't want other brothers, lined up brothers, causing disruptions within the organization where we can't have trust amongst the family. You see what I'm saying? So folks were like, oh, I get it. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody's saying, I get it. So I tell myself, okay, then I feel you. Run that. And my number 2 was like, yeah, run that. So here we go. They step to folks, they read him the write-up, they tell him what's going on. Now he pissed, he got rocks in his jaw. Now the time that, that he won't go to trial, right, for the write-up for a couple of days, so they still living in the cell together. Oh, they having arguments and everything. They arguing about every little thing. Nitpicking, trying to get the advantage on the other, right? So here's the thing, right? So folks telling me, man, folks, you're going to have to move out. You ain't going to be able to stand here with me. You got to move out. This is what the brother that don't own the phone is telling the brother that do own the phone, right? So folks tell him, man, I'm not going nowhere, man. He said, man, we're going to have a problem. So folks that own the phone said, what you want to do then? He said, man, we're going to make it do what it do, baby. So he told us, so you want to get him up. Now, here's another thing about the folks. There ain't no fighting amongst the folks, y'all. Ain't no fighting. No, in an issue like that, you got to take it to the family. So folks go to the family with it. He said, look here, bro. He said, man, I want to get a one with bro. So folks them tell him, it ain't happening, man. We ain't doing nothing like that, man. What's the problem? So they get both of the brothers in front of them, right? Now, they ain't brought it to the 9 yet. They ain't brought it to me yet. They ain't brought it to me and my number 2, right? So they get folks now in front of the COS and a couple of other brothers, his assistants, and then they explaining what's going on. They're trying to explain everything that's going on, and folks them ain't hearing it right. Folks them tell them, look here, ain't gonna be no fighting, and the next time you even call bro out like that, we're gonna deal with you. You feel me? So now he put on notice. But they don't want to live with each other no more. So folks tell him, look, one of y'all start looking for a cell. So folks that don't own the phone, he wasn't even the first one in the cell. He said, man, folks gonna have to move out. So folks were like, nah, he was in there first. You pack your stuff and you move out. We ain't finna even play no games like that. So now folks, man, got his rocks in his jaw. He thinking the whole family turning against him. But the whole truth of the matter is this. He didn't want to accept responsibility for what he did. For lying. Because he know what's finna come. He know when the whole issue come out at this D-board. You understand what I'm saying? He gonna get hit. Now he don't even know that they know about him being in the shower with the phone. He don't even know they know that yet. They ain't hit him with that yet. But he know that they wouldn't have wrote this up if they ain't had something. He don't even know the dude that popped it up in the shower talking about somebody got a shower. He don't even know that dude done told folks now. He trying to figure out what they got. Because this ain't like a court. You understand what I'm saying, that you go to. It's saying you don't get no motion of discovery and all that kind of stuff. You'll find out when they bring you in front of what's really going on. So here go the day of the D-board, right? He got to go in front of the board. They got to hear the case. I'm not sitting on that. Me and the number 2, we not sitting on that. But I'm there. I'm just observing. Because I want to see, make sure everything stay fair. You understand what I'm saying? So we up there, everybody listening. And they arguing back and forth, the case, this, and that. So then it come out, said, bro, you in the shower on the phone, and somebody said that somebody got the phone in the shower, and then a little bit after that, the y'all got shook down and all this and that. And he was like, yeah, I was in the shower on the phone. He said, did you ever tell folks that you was in the shower on the phone and almost got caught? Did you ever tell them anything like that? And folks said, no, I ain't see no need to tell him. You know what I'm saying? Everything was straight. He said, did you ever think that why y'all got shook down a couple of days after that the reason y'all got shook down because the police heard what was going on? He was like, no, I ain't think nothing about that. He said, so you sitting here telling me none of that dawned on you, that you should have told folks that own the phone, that let you use the phone when you want to, that you almost got caught with the phone in the shower. He was like, nah, it never dawned on me to tell him that. He said, why it never dawned on you to tell him that? And folks was getting all belligerent. Now, I don't know, man. I don't know. Hold up, man. It's bruh. See, when they start pushing back at you like that, and want to get real technical and keep the decorum right, they already done decided they're going to get you. They already decided they're going to get you because they done looked at the case and they done figured out if bruh follow the rules of the cell with that phone with bruh, none of this possibly wouldn't have never happened. And they know he trying to avoid accepting responsibility. So they told him, he said, look here, bro, this is what it's going to be. We finna convene and talk about this. But whatever we come out with this board, out of this decision, that's what it's going to be, and you're going to have to comply. Do you understand? He said, look here, you might get found not guilty. But he said, I doubt it. See, this is how it works in GD. You ain't got to be all nice about it. You ain't got to be all legal about it. You can say what you want to say as long as you're keeping the GD decorum proper. You understand? So he tell him, yeah, he said, step out then. So when he step out the cell, both of them had to step out the cell. They send security out there with him. They're going to make sure there ain't going to be no fighting or nothing. Both of y'all sit down at the table till this is over with. So they sit down at the table. Now folks want to start. He said, bro, man, 1,000 pardons, man. I was wrong for that, man. I should have told you, man, but man, you know, I'm finna go up for parole, man. I'm trying to go home. You still got a few more years. The write-up ain't gonna hurt you none. You know what I'm saying? And then folks looked at him, he said, yeah, the write-up is gonna hurt you. I'm gonna lose my visits, man. He said, but that's part of the risk we take when we using the phone, folks. So folks looked at him and said, now hold up, man. Yeah, that's the risk we take, but if you would have followed the rules of the cell, everything might be still straight. You the one violated, not me. So now folks sitting there looking at him, he know the walls is closing in. So folks in the cell, they talking about it. So folks been real quick about it. So one of the brothers said, look, folks need to pay for their phone. Folks need to take that right up. You feel what I'm saying? And whatever happened, happened. And he need to pack his stuff and move out the cell. You feel me? And if he talk about it, trying to go and be backbiting and spreading rumors and trying to make bro look like he ain't straight, then hands on. That's what it is. So they came out with that. They ain't gonna beat him up. They ain't gonna beat him up, but they finna hit him real hard with all of these sanctions. And when the folks hit you with some sanctions, you ain't got all day to pay. You ain't got all day to pay. So they come out and they tell him before you gotta pay for the phone. You gotta take the write-up. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta move out the cell. And then after this hearing, it's nothing to be said about this. No more. You can't talk about this to the family trying to badmouth bro. Do you agree with all of that? He said, folks, I ain't got no money to be paying for no phone and all this and that. He said, so the whole time, one of the brothers said, the whole time you been using the phone, you ain't been trying to get no money? He said, yeah, I got a little something, man, but I need that for when I get out. I've been trying to stack mine so I can have some clothes. And then bro said, bro, you selfish, man. You selfish for real, man. He said, man, you gonna pay for that phone, man. You gonna pay for that phone. You gonna pay for that phone, and ain't nobody finna play with you. So they went to the penitentiary board the next day. They get up in there, right? Look here. They get up in there. And both of them got different inmate advisors. Inmate advisor like a lawyer in here, okay? Both of them got different inmate advisors, right? So they step up in there and both of their inmate advisors said, look here, what we gonna do? Y'all, who gonna take the charge? So folks that on the phone said, he finna take the charge. So folks said, now he don't say nothing. So his inmate advisor said, you gonna take the charge? He said, you told me you wasn't gonna take no charges, man. I said, man, I'm gonna go on and take the charge, man. He said, well, you're gonna have to go to the hole and all this and that, right? And it's a class A on your jacket. He said, you lose your visits, you know what I'm saying? You lose your packages, you can't get no packages for the next 3 months. He telling them all the sanctions that the state gonna put against him, right? And he was like, man, ain't nothing you can do, man, about my visits, man. Folks looked at him and said, man, you ain't even going to visit, man. Why you worried about that, man? Go on in there and get this over with, man, before they start acting silly, man. So the inmate advisor go in there and tell the D-board chairman what the business is. The D-board chairman said, okay, let him come in here and say it in front of me, and then I'm going to sign off on it. So folks go in there, and he in there too long. He in there too long to be just saying what need to be said to come up out of there, right? After about 5 minutes, then here come two officers, right? It's internal affairs. Internal affairs coming up in there, and they go into the D-board. They go up in there. Folks in there with him. So folks sitting out there. He getting nervous now. He's like, man, what is going on, man? What internal affairs doing up here, right? So he tell his inmate advisor, he said, man, go let folks know what's going on, man. So he said, I got you. So the inmate advisor leaving, he go tell folks now what's going on. Then folks now bring it to me. Tell me everything. I'm like, what? Wait, what? The internal affairs is in there with it. I'm like, what is he saying? They like, we don't know. So all right, go tell the inmate advisor, man, find out everything that he's saying. That's this, that, on that. So he get back over there, and by then, the internal affairs, they coming out, they done left. Now here come folks come back out there and sit down beside folks that are on the phone. He tell folks on the phone, he said, man, we straight, don't worry about it. So folks looked at him and said, look, what you mean we straight? He said, man, what you say to these folks, man? Because let me tell you something, you don't be talking no internal affairs in here. You don't do that. You don't do none of that, y'all. You don't do none of that. So here it is, right? He said, man, we straight. He said, man, I told him, man, you know what I'm saying, that's my phone, but if I could do something to help out, you know what I'm saying, help y'all out, can we just don't worry about this? Because I'm finna go up for parole. They said, well, yeah, if you can get us some information about somebody selling drugs and all this and that going on the compound, he said, yeah, we can work something out. We can work something out. So folks sitting there, the folks that are on the phone, he's sitting there, he looking at him like, what? What did you would have told them that you gonna tell on somebody that's selling some dope up in here so you can get out of this right up? He's like, folk, man, y'all know I'm finna go for parole, though. I'm finna go for parole. How come you can't feel me on that? You ain't understand, man. Man, folks didn't even say nothing. He just looked at it. Now he's sitting there staring at it. He said, man, look here, folks. Man, you know what bruh them gonna do. He said, man, look here, bruh them don't have to know nothing about this. Bruh them don't have to know nothing about this. It's between me and you, man. Don't say nothing about this. Then folks that on the phone looked at him. He said, man, it's too late. He said, what you mean it's too late? He said, man, I told the inmate advisor, man, to go let them know that you was in there with internal affairs. I don't know what you on, man. We don't get out like that, man. I don't know what kind of games you playing. Man, so folks just got up. The folks on the phone, he just got up and walked out. Went back to the unit, right? They get back to the unit. Folks now sitting in there. They sitting in there. They sitting at the table, waiting on them. And I'm waiting on the report. I need to know what's going on. Because something's getting real funny here. So they walk in and they folks them say, man, y'all need to tell us what's going on, man. So folks that on the phone, he spilled the beans. He tell them everything the folks done told him. Man, folks them looking at him wide-eyed and said, what, you did what? And now they looking and say, wait a minute, who you finna tell on, man? Man, I ain't gonna tell on none of the folks, man. I ain't gonna tell on no. So you is finna tell on somebody, though. He looked at him, he's like, man, that's how I'm gonna get out of this right up, man. I'm trying to go home, man. So they bring it to me. They bring the issue to me, y'all. When they brought the issue to me, me and my COS, we sitting there, my number 2, we sitting there, we thinking about what's really going on, man. So now, my number 2, he's laughing. My number 2, he was silly like that. He laughing. He said, man, I can't believe folks did this. He said, man, now you know what we finna do, right? I said, yeah, I know what you want to do, but I said, man, we need to find out everything that he said, man. Everything that's going on. Who he even intend on telling on. Because IA finna be expecting something. And if we run him off the compound now, guess what? They gonna come back and hit us in the top of our head. You understand what I'm telling you? So my COS, he was like, yeah, man, yeah, we gotta be careful about this, man. He can take down the whole mob. I said, that's what I'm talking about, man. This fool can really do some damage to us. And then I'm sitting there like, oh my God, now my COS, he looking at my number 2. My number 2, he's starting to realize, man, but then my number 2 was like, we still need to get rid of him. That's just dead on that. I said, look here, this is what we're gonna do. We gotta play him with a long handle. You feel what I'm saying? And then I start hitting them like, you know how people hitting them with them cliches when they get to, you really don't know what you want to do, but you did. I said, look here, man, we gotta keep our enemies close. You understand what I'm saying? He an enemy now. You know what I'm saying? Because I really didn't know what to do at the time, because it's like, he done already talked to the internal affairs. He could tell us whatever he want us to know, but we don't really know if he's telling the truth. But then I tell him, I said, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play it. And you're going to have to come back and listen to my next episode, right, to see how we played him, right? This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all. I've been trying to breathe underwater.